Picture this, you're 45 years old. You've just lost the job you dedicated 20 years of your life to. Your family looks to you for hope, but inside, you feel empty. Sound familiar? Now, imagine a samurai who lost his master and became a ronin, a warrior without a master, at 50. Instead of despairing, however, he found a new meaning in life. Today, I'm going to tell you about an ancient Japanese concept that is literally saving lives in the 21st century. It's Ikigai, and no, it's not just another trendy psychological theory. Stop. Before you switch to the next video, answer this honestly: do you wake up in the morning feeling joyful? Or with the thought, it's Monday again? 87% of people in developed countries experience professional burnout. 1 in 3 has thought, at least once, why am I even doing this? Guess what? The samurai of medieval Japan solved this problem 800 years ago. But first, subscribe to the channel and press the bell. Why is this important right now? In the next few videos, I'm going to break down each of the 7 principles of Bushido. Believe me, you won't want to miss it. Also, write a number from 1 to 10 in the comments to show how burned out you feel right now. At the end of the video, I'll explain why this is important. Chapter 1, The Death of the Samurai and the Birth of Ikigai. The year is 1600. The Battle of Sekigahara. It was the bloodiest battle in Japanese history. In one day, 30,000 samurai lost more than just their lives, they lost their raison d'etre. Those who survived but were on the losing side became ronin. Imagine this: you were an elite warrior all your life, serving your master. You had honor, status, and purpose. Suddenly, nothing. You're nothing. It was then that the concept that saved thousands of warriors from committing seppuku, or ritual suicide, was born. They called it Ikigai, which literally means something worth waking up for in the morning, or the meaning of life. Do you know what a 17th century ronin samurai and a manager fired from a corporation in 2024 have in common? They both lose more than just their jobs, they lose their identities. I was a warrior of the Tokugawa clan, I was a top manager at Google. Sounds similar, doesn't it? But here's the difference: the samurai knew the secret. He realized that his essence wasn't about serving his master but about something more. That secret is encoded in the 4 circles of the Ikigai. Whoa, 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 whoa. I know what you're thinking right now: oh, I saw that 4-circle diagram on Instagram. Forget it. What you're seeing on social media is a Western interpretation created in 2014 by a Spanish blogger. Real samurai Ikigai isn't about getting a dream job. It's about maintaining your humanity when the world is falling apart. Yamamoto Tsunetomo, the author of Hagakure, the Samurai's Bible, wrote, "A true warrior perfects the art of the sword, even if he never uses it." Think about it. A samurai could spend years perfecting a technique that would never be seen. Why? Because mastery isn't about applause. It's about inner fire. A modern example? Steve Wozniak. When asked why he continued programming after leaving Apple, he said, "I don't write code for money or fame. I write code because it's who I am." That's pure Ikigai. Let's do an experiment right now. Pause the video and answer this question: if you were paid $1 million a year not to do something, what would you still do in secret? Write down your answer. This is the first clue to your Ikigai. After the fall of the shogunate, thousands of samurai were left without masters. Do you know what they did? They began to serve an idea. Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's greatest swordsman, became a ronin at age 13 and could have joined any clan, but he chose to serve perfection. The result? He won 61 fights without a single defeat, and he wrote a book, The Book of 5 Rings, which is still studied in business schools today. Part 2, a deep dive into philosophy. In 1868, the samurai class was officially abolished during the Meiji Restoration. Suddenly, 1.9 million professional warriors lost more than just their jobs, they lost their identity, which had been shaped over the course of 700 years. Imagine the scale of the disaster. It's as if all professions were abolished tomorrow. What would millions of programmers do? But the unbelievable happened. Instead of mass suicides and depression, Japan experienced explosive growth. Former samurai became entrepreneurs, scientists, and artists. Mitsubishi, founded by a samurai. Japan's first pharmaceutical company, a samurai founded it. The creator of cup noodles is even a samurai descendant. How did they do it? They used the principle of tenshin, or heavenly heart. This principle is when your mission is bigger than your role. Iwasaki Yataro, the founder of Mitsubishi, was a low-ranking samurai. After the abolition of the samurai class, he could have given up out of desperation. Instead, he asked himself, what is my true nature beyond the sword? The answer was, a strategist and protector of the prosperity of his land. He swapped swords for business, but the essence remained the same. This is the key point of Ikigai: your profession is just a tool. Your essence is deeper than that. Now, let's take a look at the statistics for 2024. 76% of millennials will experience burnout. 40% plan to leave their jobs within the next 2 years. Do you know what the worst part is? They don't know where to go next. They're stuck in what the Japanese call karoshi, death by overwork. However, karoshi isn't just about the number of hours worked. It's about the lack of ikigai. A Tohoku University study of 43,000 Japanese people found that people with a clear sense of purpose live an average of 7 years longer and have a 40% lower risk of heart disease. Most importantly, they don't burn out. Why? Because a fire can't burn out if it's burning from the inside, not the outside. Forget the Western diagram of intersecting circles. A true samurai's ikigai is based on 4 pillars. The first pillar is Gi, duty to the truth. As Samurai Seigo Takamori said, a man can lose everything except loyalty to himself. This is not about selfishness. It's about being honest with one's nature. You cannot find ikigai by pretending to be someone else. The second pillar is Rei, contributing to the harmony of the world. Even after becoming Ronin, samurai looked for a way to serve. Not a lord, but society, art, or craft. Ikigai is always about something bigger than yourself. The third pillar is Makoto, or sincerity of action. If a samurai took up a cause, he dedicated himself entirely to it. Half-heartedness betrays ikigai. It's better to do nothing than to do something without heart. The fourth pillar is Meiyo, or honor of excellence. It's not about being recognized by others. Rather, it's about having an inner sense of knowing that you are doing your best. Mastery is a way of honoring life. Stop the video and do this exercise. The samurai called this practice momijigari, or contemplating the autumn leaves. Imagine yourself at the age of 80. You are sitting in a garden looking at the leaves falling. What won't you regret? What will you definitely not say, I wish I had done too much of that? Write down 3 things. These are your candidates for true GI duty to your own truth. Now, I'm going to contradict all motivational speakers and say that passion is a trap. Samurais never talked about passion. They talked about muga, a state of no-self where you dissolve into action. Passion burns and goes out. Ikigai, on the other hand, is like a smoldering coal that can flare up at any moment but never goes out completely. You may not feel passionate about your ikigai for months. Still, it will guide you. Sen no Rikyu, the greatest master of the tea ceremony, was born to a fishmonger. In the 16th century, this meant he had no chance of being recognized by the samurai. However, Rikyū found his Ikigai in the simple act of making tea. He transformed a domestic ritual into a spiritual practice. Even samurai who despised merchants bowed to his skill. Why? Because they saw that he was a man who had found his purpose. Whether that path led through a sword or a teapot. Once, Hideyoshi, the ruler of Japan, asked Rikyū, "What is the secret of the tea ceremony?" Rikyū replied, "Provide coolness in summer and warmth in winter. That is the secret." Hideyoshi became angry and retorted, "Any fool knows that." Rikyū smiled. "If you find someone who actually does it, I will become their disciple." This is the essence of Ikigai, a simple action performed with complete dedication. Part 3, Practical Ikigai Search System. Do you know what the most dangerous thing about burnout is? It's not fatigue. It's when you stop believing that anything can change. The Japanese call this feeling munashii, or emptiness of existence. Here's the paradox: the more you achieve without Ikigai, the deeper that emptiness becomes. I'll tell you a story that few people know. In 1973, at the height of the company's success, Honda Soichiro, the founder of Honda, disappeared for 3 months. He was found in a small village where he was repairing bicycles for local children. For free. When reporters asked him why, he replied, "I was remembering why I started. Not Honda. In general, I was remembering why I started building things with my hands." It was his Ikigai reboot. It saved him from karoshi, or the death of success. Samurais used the Gomon technique, which consists of 5 soul-searching questions. Modern Toyota borrowed it to solve manufacturing problems, but it was originally a way to find Ikigai. It works like this: you take any activity and ask why. 5 times. Example: I run a YouTube channel. Why? To share knowledge. Why? To help people. Why? To make the world a better place. Why? Because I've seen too much suffering caused by ignorance. Why is this important to you? Because I have experienced it myself and I know how to find my way out. Your Ikigai is to be a guide for those who have wandered where you have. Warning: there are 3 types of false Ikigai that can lead to burnout even faster. The first is the Ikigai mask. This occurs when you choose something that sounds noble, such as "I want to save the world." I want to save the world. However, if it doesn't resonate with your core, you'll burn out in a year. The second is Ikigai inheritance. This is your parents' dream, not yours. How many doctors hate medicine because it was their mom's choice? Third is Ikigai trend. It's when you chase what's trendy. Today, everyone wants to be a blogger. But if it's not in your nature, you'll suffer every day. Now, here's a technique that I haven't seen in any Western sources. It's called Sankaku no Chi, or the triangle of blood. Samurai would draw it with their own blood before making important decisions, but we'll use a pen. Draw a triangle. At the vertices, write, "What do I do when I procrastinate?" This is your true inclination. What can I talk about for hours? This is your passion. What do I do better than 90% of the people around me? This is your gift. The intersection of all 3 is in the center of the triangle. This is the area of your potential Ikigai. Let me tell you a real-life story. A top Silicon Valley executive approached me. Let's call him David. He had a $150,000 a year salary, stock options, and a dream career. But he was totally burned out. "I can't look at code anymore," he said. We did a triangle exercise. The results shocked him: procrastination, watching woodworking videos, talking for hours about design philosophy. He does better than 90% of people when it comes to explaining complex things in simple terms. David now runs a carpentry school for programmers. His income has tripled. His happiness has increased tenfold. David says, "I'm finally doing what I was born to do, helping digital people reconnect with the physical world." It's a concept that every samurai knew by heart: one encounter, one chance. Each moment is unique and will never be repeated. However, it's not about FOMO, the fear of missing an opportunity. It's about being fully present in the moment. When you have Ikigai, every action becomes a ceremony. Are you writing a report? It's not just a report, it's your way of bringing clarity to chaos. Do you wash the dishes? This is your meditation on order. Everything becomes a practice. How will you know when you found true Ikigai and not self-deception? There are 3 signs. First, time disappears. You sit down to work at 9 a.m., and when you look up, it's 6 p.m. You're not tired, you're energized. Second, you do it even when no one is looking. In fact, you prefer to do it without an audience. Third, failure doesn't stop you. In Ikigai, failure is not defeat, it's data for improvement. If even one of these characteristics is missing, dig deeper. It is not yet your true path.